So, Nintendo has officially announced the development of a The Legend of Zelda movie, a live action The Legend of Zelda movie, a co-produced with Sony live action The Legend of Zelda film. The expectations are all over the place. Will it be good? It will suck. I think it has a lot of things against it, but if the Super Mario Bros. Movie show us something, is that we need to have trust in Nintendo that it can produce good quality movies. The movie is still probably years away. However, I don't think it's never too early to begin doing predictions. So let's do it. I think one of the biggest questions that we, as fanatics of the Legend of Zelda series, have is whether they will adapt a specific video game to the big screen. The only precedent that we have regarding that is the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and they didn't adapt a specific video game. We didn't see a Super Mario Sunshine film or a Super Mario Galaxy film. They made a more generic story and they populated with Easter eggs and elements from other video games. I think they're gonna do the same with The Legend of Zelda. I don't believe that we're gonna be watching a live action adaptation of Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, A Link to the Past, or Breath of the Wild. They are gonna craft their own story and then they're gonna start taking elements from all the video games to populate that story. I'm sure we're gonna see basic elements: Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, probably different races that inhabit Hyrule. Probably gonna see the Zoras, the Kokiri, Gerudo, and other tribes that live within. But I don't think they're gonna adapt specific storylines to the movie. I will take A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, and Breath of the Wild as the basis to craft the story. They have the most streamlined stories of them all, and they are very basic and simple to understand for people who are not familiar with the story of the video games. For example, Twilight Princess, I think, is way too deep for a first film, so I definitely wouldn't take into account. Skyward Sword, for example, I will take the relationship between Zelda and Link, but that's the way that I would do. I would take elements from all of the video games and I will do a very basic story in Hyrule. Another point of curiosity is whether they will have Link talk. Within the video game, in the canon, he does talk. It's just that the player can't hear him. This works in a video game because you are literally controlling the main character and you can project yourself to the video game. In a movie, it doesn't work that way. The way that we relate to the characters, attitudes, actions, and desires. So I think they're gonna have to do Link a talkative character. They're gonna have him have some dialogue and so on and so forth, unless they give him a partner character, a Navi-like, Midna-like character. But I think that will make it against the purpose of the story to have the audience relate to the main characters. So I do actually believe that we are gonna hear Link talk in the movie a lot. I am not in a position that I can decide who's gonna be cast as the main characters. I have no further knowledge of all of the actors that exist within the system. The thing that I am almost sure that they're gonna do, you can quote me on this, I don't think they're gonna choose American actors for the main characters. They're probably gonna go European, as I think that meshes better with the fantasy situation. Again, I am not in a position to tell you who are my best bets for the actors. I would like to see, for example, Idris Elba as Ganondorf. If they actually have different races from Hyrule in the story, then we can actually see a bigger selection of casting. If the Sora show up in the movie, you can bet my ass that they're gonna choose Americans. They're gonna be Californian. I think November 2026, the most likely date for the release of the movie. The timing of the announcement that they are working on a film tells me that they are probably finishing the script, whether it's the first draft or they're finishing the last draft of the screenplay. My prediction is that they are going to be working on pre-production on 2024. The signs, they're gonna finish the script, they're gonna decide the cast with an aiming of production in 2025, probably. and they're gonna take the remainder of 2025, the beginning of 2026 to do post-production. I am almost sure that a November 2026 release date is happening. Whether it's November 2026 or spring of 2027 in a similar release date of the Super Mario movie in April, but my bet is 2026. I didn't have much faith on the Super Mario Brothers movie, not because a Mario movie has no potential, but who they chose to work with on it. I think Illuminations is one, if not the worst, animation studio out there. If you put them side by side against Pixar, DreamWorks, like Ghibli Studios, they are probably the worst in terms of quality. They have successful productions, but the quality of their movies is always lacking in some points. So I was worried about that movie, but it actually turned out very well. Super Mario Bros. Movie might not be perfect, it's not a masterpiece people made out to be, but it's a very well made film, very enjoyable, and I honestly think that they actually stick the landing. However, I think live action is trickier to pull off. I am getting worried by the people that they're choosing to work on the movie. The producer, Hyaaaaat, has some major successes as a producer, but he has some horrible failures. I don't know. He produced Uncharted movie, and that movie is like whatever generic adventure movie, and this is not generic PlayStation game, as all PlayStation games are very generic. This is The Legend of Zelda. This is one of the most iconic, important, and innovative video game series of all time. The director also worries me, Wes Ball. He directed the Maze Runner films, and if I remember correctly, those movies were never praised for their direction. Like, Warner Brothers got Academy Award nominee Greta Gerwig to direct the Barbie movie. Like, couldn't we get someone like on the size of that to direct the Legend of Zelda movie? Like, bring up, I don't know, Peter Jackson, Matt Reeves, whoever you want. Just bring someone who has like the level to handle this kind of movie. But really, Wes Ball, I don't know. It doesn't really convince me. The writer also worries me. I don't know his name yet, but he wrote the Jurassic World movies, and they are not that very good. Again, I think a Legend of Zelda film has a lot of potential. I really hope that Shigeru Miyamoto supervise things such degree as in the Super Mario Bros. Movie to make something truly special. I really hope that this movie is, if not a masterpiece or excellent, at least good enough. In conclusion, I really hope that this movie is good, like baseline good. Live action is a weird choice for The Legend of Zelda. I would actually hope that every single franchise of Nintendo has different style. Like, Mario fits very well with 3D animation. Zelda, I would have chosen a 2D animation. Metroid would be a great live action film. Star Fox, stop motion, so on and so forth. I still have hope, because again, Nintendo turned it up for Super Mario Bros. Movie. So let's wait and see. What are your thoughts on this movie? Let me know in the comments below, and I will be seeing you on the next video.